Hello, YouTube. There is the Wiz Comics number 58. Now, the book is between my glass presses, and I have it folded over, formed to the actual inner part of the book. So it's looking pretty good. I like to do this now. I like to fold the cover and gently massage it in place prior to putting the staple holes. So I'm going to take it out of the glass, and then we're going to take a look at the actual interior of the book. So stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, we are back. And I removed the top piece of glass. I want to do that off camera because if I did break that glass, I would be very upset. It's something that really helps me when I work on projects, and it is definitely something that I want to try to preserve. So here's the cover. It's nicely folded. We're going to work on the folding a little bit more once we put the staples in, but it turned out nicely, I believe. And I do see a little rip here that I did not put any type of paper on, so we're going to, the actual Tenguju paper, we're going to take care of that very easily, and I'll show you how I do that when I do it. So we're going to put this to the side for now. And we're going to take, I like to wrap the actual interior of the book when I work on it with parchment paper, because I don't want to stain the cover that we work so hard on, because this is the interior of the Wiz Comics 58, and it's going to need some work. And we're going to look at that in a second. But I'm going to stop the camera because I want to actually put another coverless book. This is Wiz Comics or Captain Marvel Adventures, I'm sorry, number 23. I want to put that in the cover so I can put it between the glasses and keep it pressurized so we can put it in shape. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, I am back. So what do we have here? We have a book, or the interior of the book, which is in pretty rough shape, James. I'm sorry to say it. So it looks like every single page has suffered some type of issue with the rusted staple. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take out the staple. Now it looks like, I don't know if the centerfold is attached, and it doesn't look like it is, as suspected. It's not. And it doesn't look like many of the wraps are attached. I'm pulling it off right now, guys, because I'll tell you we're going to have to do some repairs to the interior of the pages. And I don't like this right here. That's rust that bled in, so I don't know what I'm going to do to fix this. I don't think that we are going to do a full leaf casting of the interior. I think that maybe I will repair it with the Tengojo paper. That's what we're going to do. So here's the staple. And as you can see, I'm actually just pulling it out because it disintegrated with the rust. I don't know if the camera is picking this up. So this staple is in rough shape. So we want to remove the actual rust that's on it. And as you can see, I am using a metal tool. And usually I say don't use metal tools, but for this type of situation, we're fine using the metal tool because we are conserving the book and we are going to wash the staple. So for me, it doesn't matter using the metal tools because it's going to be not an issue where we're trying not to scratch or make metal tool marks on the actual staple itself. So how are we going to clean this? How are we going to clean the staple? In the past, I've used vinegar, I've used various other methods, but for this guy, what I'm going to use is something a little different. And I like to use this from time to time. And what it is it is Rust-Oleum Rust Dissolver Jelly. And it works very well. So what I first want to do is I want to put a T on a piece of tape. So we're going to put T here. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want to keep the top of the staple the top. So I'll put T here. The staple will be facing the top. And then all we do is I'll take a brush and we will dip it in the jelly. And I will paint the staple with the jelly, and then we're going to let this dissolve for a good 20 minutes or so. And then after we do that, you want to clean the jelly off, and what I use to clean the jelly off is lacquer thinner. You don't want to use water. You can use lacquer thinner, because if you use water, what happens? Using water will run the risk that you actually do what? The staple will rust again. So lacquer thinner is the way to go. It's a solvent. You can buy it at any Home Depot. Lacquer thinner is one of my favorite solvents, not for comic books, but for actual car restoration, or if you want to remove paint off of metal, lacquer thinner is the way to go. Wear masks and gloves using it. I don't. I do sometimes, but it is a nasty chemical. Okay, guys, so let's let that dissolve. And then what I am going to do, look at that, every single page needs to be worked on. So what I'm going to do is we are going to, and look at that, I like opening up. That looks like, I don't know if that is World War II with Hitler, or maybe it's just a thug that looks like Hitler. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back on the next segment, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do with this book, because I think that I may have to actually press the book flat, because we are going to have to repair each one of these pages, unfortunately. So we might as well start the process now. And I'm not going to use an actual press, heat press. We're going to use nice pressure with a piece of glass. And then what I'll do is I will put a weight on it, and I will keep it like this overnight. And then what I will do is I will prepare some of the Tengojo paper, and we are going to use that in a fashion where I can repair each and every page of this book so we can put it back together. Leaf casting I'm not going to do. I'm going to use the Japanese paper. I have a few different types of paper that we can use, but we'll do it in a conserved fashion, and we'll make it where the book can be put back together so James can enjoy it. So we're going to stop this upload. I said I would finish it up in the last upload, but I think a little bit more work has to be done. And I'm also going to clean each one of the pages with my makeup pads, and we'll get them in tip-top shape for James. So as you can see in closing, the gel is working, and it will remove the rust, and we'll be in good shape with this staple, and we'll reinstall this book, and I think it will be a good book to own. So stay tuned.